Well, it's Holy Smoking Pie Padre coming back at you, folks. And it's smoking the Friday Savinelli. Listen, I just got this wonderful Savinelli 320. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. I just thought I'd show it off a little bit. Beautiful Trevi Savinelli 320. Yes, indeed. Look at that. Nice grain. Nice acrylic stem. Nice little silver band. And let me tell you, folks. Nice little smoking pipe there. I got this pipe from B&B Tobacco Company. It's an online company. And a little thing about this, they sent off some little Italian flag there, you know. Oh, solo mio. Okay. And this pipe has the little balsa wood filter system. You can see those little balsa wood, little mermite things there. And it actually came with one preloaded. And it's the first time I think I've actually, well, in a long, long time, smoked a filter pipe. And in it I'm smoking some wonderful McClellan's blend. This is the Frogmorton Cellar. Frogmorton Cellar. And I'm just here to tell you, very smooth, flavorful smoke. Thing I liked about this, I got this about a year ago. And it has the little stave or stave of a whiskey barrel in there, which gave it that mellow flavor. So actually quite good. And I'm surprised that it's still surprisingly unharsh of a smoke. This is the second bowl I've had in this since I just opened it up about an hour ago. There's a little video playing maybe right down here. This there box. Maybe I'll play a little video right there, or maybe over there. I haven't decided yet. But okay. Just enjoying this wonderful Savinelli 320 with a cup of coffee. Here you go, Cabal, Chris.
And very nice.
You said you liked that idea of coffee in a pipe, and you were kind of like you started doing that, and you said not a bad combination, and it is.
Now, many of you probably know exactly
so
what pipe
I just got this pipe. I ordered it a couple weeks ago from B&B Tobacco, again online. And I've been wanting one of these 320s for about a year now. I saw maybe it was Jay has one, and I saw several other guys that had the Savinelli 320.
All right.
And I just thought, there's something about that pipe that, it's a very, shall we say, it's a very masculine, muscular looking manly man pipe. And I remember, I think it was Edward G. Robinson used to do I remember, magazines, I don't look a lot of magazines anymore. I just don't have time. The only magazines I kind of look at nowadays are cooking magazines, or magazines that have recipes in them. We usually get these little magazines at the market that I usually frequent from time to time, and they're called the extra magazines. They're little free takeaways.
I'm telling you.
And they have recipes in them and ideas to make, holiday kind of meals and party trays and, little catchy, edible design things that you can do, and, little tips on canning maybe, or, just
Like a
just kind of a
doctor's
foodie kind of a
goldfish.
magazine. I have to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I like
Also, I
Martha
think I
Stewart
saw a
magazines.
commercial
Sorry,
or
but it's
old
true. I do.
magazine. This is back when I was growing up, when pipes were,
But anyway,
were advertised kind of.
so I've been. I remember when I was, my mom used to have these magazines, and believe it or not, she just watched these romance magazines. Now, granted, they weren't manly man magazines. They weren't like Outdoor Life or those kinds of magazines that guys would like maybe look at. But in the back of those magazines, they had just all sorts of weird little advertisements, and I was always intrigued by the advertisements. And they had some of them were more geared to the ladies, but there was a couple of magazines that my mom would have, and in the back they would have advertisements for all sorts of things. I don't even think they had advertisements for kids toys and x-ray glasses and long kind of like the comic books used to have too, but they would have those articles, those little advertisements would make it into some of those magazines as well. And one of them, they would have every now and then, they'd have a picture. It looked like Edward G. Robinson smoking a pipe like this, looking very sophisticated and very serious, but not too mean looking. But little Edward G. Robinson, smoking kind of a bulldog-ish Savinelli 320. And so I've seen a lot of you. And again, I think I saw Jay smokes a Savinelli 320 from time to time. Maybe Jersey Fix had one, and oh gosh, maybe East End Pipes Ron had one. I don't know. I'm just guessing now, but I do remember several of you smoking your Savinelli 320s, and I'm sure Matches 860 has a Savinelli 320. I'd be surprised if he doesn't, because he loves his Savinellis. So, you know how it is when everybody seems to have one, don't you want one? It's kind of like the secret to the iPhone, I think. I know some of you out there who are iPhone people who love your iPhones, you love them, and if you don't love them, you don't love them, and I'm not going to go in that right now. But anyway, I wanted to get a Savinelli 320. It's a shape that I normally would associate with my dad smoking a pipe like this. Now, most of you who know me now from my videos know I'm a big Dunhill guy. I love my Dunhills. But originally, I was a Danish freehand, and I still love my Danish freehands. I still have several wonderful, beautiful, classic Danish freehands, and I love them. And I also love my, I don't really smoke them often enough, but my Calabash Meerschaums, most people know that I love my Calabash Meerschaums as well. But I even have just straight Meerschaums, carved beautiful Meerschaums, and I love those as well. But this is a very classic, this just says pipe written all over it, just manly man pipe, And to me, I don't know if this is actually a bulldog pipe shape, but it just looks like, when I think of this pipe shape, I think of Jay's Bulldogs, George, was it George and Charlie? Or at least I think one of his names is George. This kind of looks like a George-esque bulldog-ish pipe. So Jay, if you're watching, by the way, folks, Secret Santa's coming up. Jay's putting together. God bless him again for doing that. So PM Jay with your information if you want to enter Secret Santa this year, and we're all going to have a great year. Yes, we are. Maybe you might get a Savinelli 320. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Not a used one. Come on, I'm not going to do that to you. But who knows? Whoever I pick, I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, for the price that you pay, this is a wonderful smoking pipe. It's a wonderful smoking machine. Yes, it is. And you marry that with a cup of your favorite Joe. I'm telling you what, this day is, I'm telling you what, it's been kind of a long day. It's It's kind of been a difficult week for me. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a moment. But I'm kind of finishing up on a high note with this new Savinelli 320. Boy, that Frogmorton is delicious. I smoked some of my Selim's Black in it. Now, it was the first bowl. So I have to say that, first bowls are probably going to be a little bit harsh, possibly. I didn't coat it with honey. I don't know why I didn't do that. I normally do, but I just didn't take the time. But the Selim's Black, now the Selim's Black is about 3 years old, even though it's not opened. I just opened it a couple months ago. But I noticed when I first smoked it, the first tin that I had, I kind of was trying to cellar these, thinking it was going to really make it even better. And I don't think they got dried out because they were all put away in a nice, dark, cool place. But for some reason, well, again, I think what it is a lot of these are actually vacuum sealed, and the Selim's is packaged in a cellophane wrapper, and I guess it just doesn't cellar. You need to probably actually pull it out of that and put it in a mason jar to cellar it properly. I think it got a little too oxidized or something, and it just didn't age well, and it was kind of a little harsh. I've noticed that in one of my other pipes as well. It was a bit of a harsh smoke, and I was a little disappointed in that. It still had the good flavor, but I might have to try it either another pipe or maybe put it in a calabash pipe because I need a little bit more cooling from the bowl to the stem. Nice thing about this pipe, oh man, the walls on these, look at that. Look at the walls. Look at how uniform that is. This is barely getting warm. So I'm telling you, I'm kind of having a little bit of nostalgia here for this Savinelli. It's a beautiful pipe, and I'm so far I'm telling you what, I'm really happy I made the investment, which it wasn't much. Boy, that's good. And I'm very happy with this. I mean, for a pipe that I paid more for some pipes, and I can say I've been very happy with the exception of one. And this smokes beautifully as Savinelli. So those of you who kind of figured that I was pretty much a dyed-in-the-wool Dunhill, what's the word I was going to use? Dogmatic Dunhill person, and wouldn't conscience a look at anything other than a Dunhill. Well, you're mistaken. Sad to say. Nice and mellow, very smooth, nice flavor is coming out of this. You're really getting that Frogmorton flavor. That is really, that's delicious. That's a real sweet, nutty, but there's a mellowness to it that it just absolutely, hits the spot. Hits that spot. I can just sit here right now and just enjoying this moment. Anyway, I got to talk a little bit about, and I'm gonna make a big, huge video here today, but I do want to talk about one of the reasons why I'm a little bit in a melancholy mood. But it's just life, just life happens. And this is kind of making up for not such a great week, but I'm telling you what, finishing it on a nice note with this. Been working on the old. I hate to use the word diet because I think diet is not the word I really want to use. But the weight loss and the trying to move into a little bit more of a healthy lifestyle. Now, this week, you can probably see on my face broke out, and there's a reason for that. Last week, I got down to 188. 188. Um, Again, I started this on February 13th on Ash Wednesday. I was at 270. I'm going to show you eventually when I get down, hopefully, to my real ideal weight. I want to show the actual before and after pictures, but I'm going to wait until I get to my ideal weight. But I got down to 188, and I was very happy about that. But Sunday, last Thursday, I was at 188. Actually amazed that I was amazed I actually got under 200 last month, but and still going down. And again, what I do is I'm working on that fast diet. Plus, I walk at least 6 to 8 miles a day. I break it up usually 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon or early evening. But what happened this last weekend? And this is one of the things of being a padre that happens. And I think I've said this before. What people like to bring Father is usually cookies, booze, and sweaters. And each year the sweaters get bigger because they give you the cookies and the booze, and that puts the weight on, and you just need a bigger sweater. And a lot of times people will invite you over to their dinner. You do a house blessing, and they want to have a little fiesta afterwards, and they want you to stay and eat. And eating is an occupational hazard, believe it or not. So that being said, in the last 7-8 months that I've been doing this, I've had to say no to a lot of invitations. Or if I do say yes, I try to be very, 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 very judicial in what I say yes to. And I love to eat. I still love to eat. And I'm trying to find now whole foods, healthy food alternatives and substitutes for the things that I normally like to eat. And I've been pretty successful in finding things. And I found, fortunately, I found a diet that I really do like and enjoy. And it is plant-based and whole foods. But I've allowed myself at least one splurge day, that's usually Sunday, or 2 special meals. But although I've had some great successes, in the last 3 weeks I've had some occasions where I've been a bit tested, as well as tempted, I should say, to go off the diet, quote unquote, or eat extraneous things that really aren't. They aren't. The thing is that this is not a diet where there's restrictions per se, but there is the fasting. So on fast days, you don't eat except the 500 calories or 600 calories. And I try basically just to do water and coffee and maybe a pipe. And then that has really helped to keep everything down and keep the scale going down. And that seems to help work. But I can still enjoy things that I would normally eat. Now, are celebratory kind of things. If somebody invites you over for their kid's baptism, it's kind of, you look a little curmudgeonly if you say no to a little piece of cake. Even though I don't like the cake as much as I used to, I can say yes, maybe have a couple bites and put it down, and then everything's okay. And people don't get their feelings hurt. But I don't do that all the time. I rarely do it. But this last Sunday, a dear parishioner who I'm very fond of, he was a very, very just a big-hearted, lovable person. And they wouldn't hurt you. They would do nothing to hurt you at all. So it's not like they're trying to fatten you up or anything like that. But they brought in Sunday to the rectory where we live 2 homemade, from scratch, chocolate cakes. And they said, I remember you talked about how your mom made these chocolate cakes, and I wanted to make these homemade chocolate cakes just for you. Well, what do you say to that? Well, it was it was my Sunday. Usually Sundays I just give myself freedom to eat whatever, and I don't even think about it or worry about it. but I try not to eat when I do eat, I try to eat, again, things that are really good for me. So if I overeat them, it's not going to really hurt me that much. It's not going to hurt if I have an extra helping of arugula, or kale, you know, or maybe a handful of cashews or peanuts or so. I don't eat peanuts actually, because peanuts I guess I'm probably intolerant to peanuts, but at least I think I am. At least peanut butter will bind me up. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just peanut butter, but I don't know. But I try to eat mostly healthy things. I have some roasted squash or some quinoa or beans. I love beans. Love my legumes. Okay. I'm running out of tobacco here, doggone it. And I've been enjoying this so much. And I don't want it to go out. When I have that happen, I don't want to keep it. I want it to keep it going. This is one of those magic moments. Yeah. Look at that Frog Morton. It's got a great taste to it. So anyway, I digress. So Sunday, we had this huge party, and the pasta was free-flowing, the chocolate cakes were free-flowing, and I just threw caution to the wind. And then Tuesday, I had a real sad thing happen, and I decided that plus I hurt my foot, so I didn't walk on Tuesday. I only walked once on Monday. Sunday, I completely, I wouldn't say, did I gorge myself? Came pretty close to it. I wouldn't say I totally overdid it, but I did pretty much really threw caution to the wind. And I kind of knew that I was going to pay a little bit of a price for that. So Monday came around, and I put on probably about 4 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds at least. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. But then Tuesday, I really said, well, the heck with it. I'm going to throw completely caution to the wind. And even though Tuesday is a day I normally do eat something, I try to eat very judiciously. Well, that day I decided pizza was my friend. That's all I'm going to say. And an apple pie. We have a new fresh market here that opened up about 3 weeks ago. And doggone it, those apple pies from that market are just absolutely to die for. So anyway, I got to be honest with you. I went from 188 and I shot up within 3 days up to 201. And that's what the scale said on Wednesday morning. Can't believe it. So I was pretty alarmed, to be very frank with you. I said, wait a minute, this is not good. And I was pretty depressed. I was really concerned, because I've lost a lot of weight before, and I gained it all back with interest. And that's what I'm trying not to allow to happen this time. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, there was a little bit of a warning. Warning, Will Robinson, warning, warning, warning. And so I realized, okay, this might be a good test, because guess what's coming up in the next couple of months? You got it. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, the 3 big, huge blowouts and parties that everybody, uses that as an excuse to, overindulge. And I said, well, okay, I just had kind of like an early test of my new lifestyle, and I want to see if I can recover. Can I actually recover? And is it, or have I set the pendulum swinging back now the other way? That's what was my fear. So on Wednesday, I decided, okay, we know we clearly overindulged. So I went immediately back on my whole foods plant-based diet. Started chowing down on my green leafy vegetables. And I did that. And then I also got really motivated. And when I say motivated, I didn't do something really Herculean, but I just really decided to get disciplined and dedicated. and I went for an 8 mile walk, which is I've been building up to it. So I've been doing 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, and then I would do maybe 5 and 3, kind of splitting it up. Sometimes 6 and 4. So I had a destination in mind, and I said I'm gonna walk there. I almost did it a week ago, but I didn't quite make it. And I said, no, I'm gonna just stretch it out another 4/10 of a mile, and I'll make it 4 miles one way, and on the way back that makes it 8. I was able to do that. And then yesterday did a 6 mile, and today I did a 6 mile. So when I get back, I step on the scale, and I went back from 201 back down to 192. So I gained 13, but I lost 9. And so today's a fast day. So the thing is that it's amazing how quickly and how you can gain weight, but if you keep doing the good things, it goes back down again. So I'm reasonably certain that I have, even though I had a little bit of a slip as far as the actual diet portion of it goes, it wasn't a failure, because sometimes people look at, you messed up, and now it's, well, you might as well just quit and just go out and indulge all the time and overeat and give yourself the excuse, well, it doesn't work or whatever it is, and you get discouraged and you say forget it. But that's not where I'm at today. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as I know and I continue to do the good things, then if I do have now I normally have a couple of cheat meals or splurge meals that don't have that dramatic of an effect. But I'm thinking it might be a good test run, because with Christmas coming up and Thanksgiving coming up, I should say, and Christmas and New Year's, if I can go ahead and wander off, color outside the lines for a little bit, but get right back in, then there's probably not going to be a whole lot of real severe and serious setbacks. And I think you have to, and I have kind of done this on a smaller scale, where again, if somebody invites me to a dinner that I normally don't eat that type of food, I'll go ahead and eat some of it, but I just won't have seconds, or like me, thirds. I love to eat. And I just be thankful. I think one of the things that part of this has to, and I'm listening to several different people that have done this major transformation and weight loss thing. And one of them was this guy named John Gabriel. Maybe some of you heard of the Gabriel method. And he's got an interesting point of view. It's all internal before it becomes external, one of the things that I was going to talk about is losing your outer child. Because somebody, when I told them how much weight I lost, they go, gosh, that's like our son Crispin here. You lost a whole Crispin, He's like 75 pounds, You lost your outer child, So losing your outer child. But no tongue bite. That's what I like about some tobaccos and a good pipe. I'm kind of losing my tolerance. I mean, there's some tobaccos that I used to enjoy, but boy, if the tongue bite's even there remotely, I just kind of, no, I'm not sure I want to go there. But anyway, so, I'm looking forward to saying, okay, as long as I can recover from a splurge, a serious splurge. This last weekend has been a serious couple of days of overindulgence, clearly. But the thing is, I say, well, why don't you try just to enjoy what you had? Enjoy the fact that somebody made you these lovingly made these lovely chocolate cakes for you. You enjoyed every bite of them. They were delicious. Okay, fine. You knew you were going to put on some extra pounds by doing that. So the secret is to accept it for what it is, but not let it destroy the good things that you have done and the good routines that you set up. Just because you enjoy and splurge a little bit doesn't mean you have to go. It's like, well, I got a zit, so now I'm going to shoot myself in the head. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so your face breaks out. You've got a little bit of chocolate residual, toxic chocolate breakout there. Well, okay, fine, but you don't have to cut off your nose just to spite your face, as they would say. There's no point in doing that. So my whole outlook now is say, well, I enjoyed the chocolate cake. Your Honor, I'm guilty. Guilty as charged. I enjoyed every moment of it. But you know what? I still went back the next day. After Tuesday, I got on the scale on Wednesday, and I was shocked. And I went, well, I kind of knew I was going to see some numbers I didn't like, but I know what I need to do, and I did it. I'm doing it. I'm doing my fast day. I try to stretch it out a little bit longer than the 24-hour period, but 35 minutes from now, I'll made my 24-hour fast. So if I want to go eat some arugula and some bowl of beans or something, which I thoroughly enjoy, I can do that, or I can wait till tomorrow morning and have a nice breakfast. Might stretch it out a little bit, considering I am making up a little bit of the indulgence I had this last weekend. But again, the good news is things are still going down, and even when they did shoot back up temporarily, they didn't get stuck there, which is kind of afraid that, oh gosh, what does this mean? What does this mean? Well, clearly, you can experiment a little bit and say, okay, this was kind of the outcome I expected. A little bit more startling than but I really did say, well, to heck with it. I'm not going to worry about it. That's why my point was, okay, you're going to eat things that you normally don't eat, and you don't really eat, I wouldn't say I don't like to eat. Of course I do, but that's the thing was, it was a test, and again, I actually had that test about a couple months ago, where I had some people invite me, and they said, oh, you never eat at our house anymore, and you don't, you're not being friendly anymore. And it's like, no, that's not true. It's just that I'm on this new lifestyle thing, and I don't eat some of the foods that I normally used to eat. I like them, but I just realize that, hey, if I eat too much lumpia, I do a lot of house blessings, and it's just white rice and lumpia and pancit, if you're not familiar with Filipino food, and it's very tasty. Literally I can eat a whole batch of that stuff, and it's just not gonna be in the long run, it's not gonna be good for me. So the bottom line is that it is an experiment, and hopefully things will balance out. So anyway, but I wanted to share this new Savinelli, my Friday Savinelli. Hope you got your Friday Savinelli going with a little bit of Frog Morton or whatever you choose. And so just if you're gonna splurge a little bit, splurge and enjoy it. And but don't let that be an excuse to quit. I guess that's the thing. Don't give up. Don't say, oh gosh, I messed up, so now I'm going to give up. Mess up doesn't have to be a give up. A fall doesn't have to be a failure. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.